Thank you for tuning into this channel one more time today. In order to illustrate his teaching about forgiveness, Jesus told this parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a king who wanted to settle account with his servants. So when he called out the first servant, this guy owed the king the equivalent to 60 million years wages. Impossible for him to pay. So the king said, well, if you don't have the money to pay me back, then I'm going to order your wife and your children to be sold. So I will get at least something from the debt you have to me. But the servant threw himself to the feet of the king and begged for patience, so he will pay the debt. That was not going to happen. So the king had compassion on him and forgave him and released him. So when the servant went out, he found another fellow servant, which owed the first servant and the equivalent to 100 years' wages. So he grabbed him by the neck and began to choke him, saying, "Pay me what you owe me. Pay me what you owe me." And the fellow servant said, "Please be patient with me and I'm gonna pay you." The debt was a lot less than the first servant. But the first servant said, "No, you're gonna go into prison until you pay me what you owe." So when the other fellow servants saw what happened, they got really sad and they told the king everything that happened. So the king called the first servant and said to him, "You are a wicked man, a wicked servant. Because I forgave you, I had compassion on you because you pleaded to me. Why you did not have compassion to your fellow servant?" In the Lord's Prayer, when Jesus was teaching us how to pray, he said that asking for forgiveness is part of the prayer, but it is said only under the condition that first we have forgiven those who have sinned against us. So according to this parable, we must have compassion on those who have sinned against us in the same way that we have received compassion from the Lord. See you tomorrow.